Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once again to Foundation, one of my all-time favorite city builders at this point. And after my latest playthrough, I still had a lot of fun with this game at the end of it, and I thought why not just start again, but this time we're gonna play it on the highest difficulty, no exceptions. And I promise you there's a couple of things in this game that I haven't seen yet on the highest difficulty, or things that we need to manage more properly, more precisely and stuff like that. I hope you're gonna enjoy this one. Now you can already skip a couple of minutes ahead if you want to start with the game right away. We're just gonna have a quick look at the settings, what you need to do for this. So the map code is here, it's also in the video description for you to check it out as well. This is the map we're gonna play with. Of course, I fiddle around with the settings here to get a nice beach down here, also a nice hill on that side here for a big castle, and then also some open space for our village. Basically we need to go for the classic experience. Really, no, we're gonna go with the challenge experience, but that is not enough. That is just hard mode. We want to go for the extreme mode because challenge mode does not unlock you the highest settings yet. For this we also need to turn off the optional events, and this actually is really hard because you are not able to earn coins with that, right? You need to get coins in for advancing an attack tree, and the missions give you the most bunch of that, but without that we'll just see. Also, we need to set in for the environmental resource regrowth to the slowest. That means we're gonna run out of resources rather quickly. The military hazards are on tricky on challenge, but we want to put them on perilous. The same goes with the workplace production time, which is usually on slow on the challenge mode. I'm gonna put it to slowest. Also the territory upkeep cost, and this is something that really killed me a couple of times now. Territory upkeep cost is on expensive. We're gonna put it to exorbitant to make it even more fun. And yes, with that, everything is now on the maximum parameter, right? So on the maximum difficulty that is possible in this game. Also, my villager happiness is on touchy, so they're gonna be unhappy very quickly if I don't provide everything they want. Everything else is on off that would help me at some point. And we always need to pay upkeep for buildings even if we pause them. That is also a very important aspect here. We're playing without any mods, and yeah, with that we can actually choose right away. We're gonna play relax and play on my own. That is actually misleading. We're not relaxing here, right? It's just a goal though. You can build a castle, you can build a priory, you can build a stronghold. We can also build all of that in the relax mode because this one has no goal in it, right? But we're still playing on the highest extreme settings here. Let's get cracking. Foundation Extreme. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. If you enjoy my content, please also consider supporting me on Patreon. I would very much appreciate that. Let's start. Alrighty, and here we are now finally on a fresh map, randomly generated for us with, oh, a beautiful beach right over here where we can see, well, a few debris lying around and stuff like that. Also a nice cliff over there, a nice hill, might be a good location for a castle, and all the way here in the center a lot of open space, and this of course I would like to use right away for my foundation. Now we can purchase 2 territories right away without having to pay anything, so I would like to go for something a bit central, right? What we can see is this offers a good location here because it goes into the hills then and into this territory. We could also go for this one. I think it's my favorite one here because we also get this mining site here, so this would be a great industry location with the city of course developing then over there. And yes, I think for my very first territory I'm going ahead with this area here. This opens up now, well, our very first building, the village center. Once again, it's been a while and there it is in all its glory, and let's just see where we can place it. This has rocks, it has berries, it has lots of lumber for us, so this would be a great location for this starting position here for this car. I'm gonna place it somewhere over there, right here. Poof, and there it is. We have founded the hamlet of Montclair, which is, well, our village right now. This also opens up our book that we have now, and Montclair, it is a hamlet of the pioneer Nivarias, and relax and play on my own, of course on the highest difficulty settings with all the different things that we have. Now with that also we have unlocked a whole bunch of buildings, our very first industrial buildings. Now this game on the highest difficulty is very tight, so we need to be careful how many territories we have and where we're spending our, especially our tools on, because these are going to be very expensive. Now let's check it out. This is of course my next logical choice. I'm gonna purchase this one. Now everything costs me, right? So as we can see, this costs me now 10 coin per month on upkeep, and it also costs me 100 coin directly. So the upkeep is going to be the very difficult thing for it. Now, right here, we got our sorry souls. Oh, we have a strong hangover to females. So those two males are not going to have a great time, or they are going to have a great time. I don't know. Let's also build a builder workshop right away. So this is where my builders are housing. One of the only buildings that is being placed instantly, and here I can immediately assign now my very first 3 villages to that. Of course 3, because we want to speed things up. Next in line, very important, my lumber camp. This also does not cost me any upkeep, so that's going to be great. And I would like to, let's just check it out. We do have 3 here, 3 here. Probably like to place it somewhere over here, where we do have then all the trees in the surrounding area. There you go, my very first construction site. I can unpause the game at this point. And next in line, the stonecutter camp to get us some basic stone in right across, well, this block here, because there is my stone. And as you can also see, if I place it, this one has now a finite amount of resources. So this is not endless anymore, right? Once the 400 stone is gone, it's gone. And we need to move to another location with this. That's one of the trickiest things on the maximum difficulty that we're playing with. Another one, of course, the gathering hut for the berries. I'm gonna go ahead and have this also somewhere here close to my other buildings already. So they're all together here in the zone. We should also paint our wood cutting area right away. And for this, I'm gonna start with this one, right? Because there's lots of trees here and we will need to chop. Also, we need to open up more space for us. So that's what we're doing here. Gotta be careful. I don't want to get rid of all the berry bushes though that we have over there, for example. Right, so that would be quite problematic. Let's assign 3 woodcutters to this right away. And they will start with their jobs as well immediately. We have 10 people. So we need to be careful with them. And as always, it's cute to watch them. And also our very first roads here forming just close to this forest on this fine day indeed in this amazing game, as Montclair is taking shape to some extent at least. Getting the resources over for my next construction. That would be happening now over here. And it's a simple life in the early days. We also have 10 berries still. That's my food, so of course they should not run out. And that is why we need to get the gathering hut quickly done as well. Also, we get some basic immigration already. 2 people would like to join. Probably coming out of the woods. And it's 2 female again. Another construction we have to start is the well to provide some basic water. And I would like to do this also somewhere here in the center right away. Very good. My next camp has been finished. Let's assign 2 people to that. They're gonna immediately start cutting down the stone. Looking a bit shocked, but they'll be fine. Gathering hut, very good. Let's assign also 2 people to that right away, leaving me with only 2 people now that we have unemployed so far. And all of them are working. One thing I would like to start right away is my first industry building already. That's the sawmill. So this one here processes wood into planks. It does cost me already upkeep then, so 1 coin per month. And also it costs me quite a lot to build. 20 logs is a lot. Let's have this one also close here by my chopping, where we do have a bit of space just along this road that already formed. Another thing we should start is, before people leave, is actually building some housing, because right now we have 0 happiness. That's because we have no water, no food, no services, no housing, nothing basically. So the well that is about to be finished as well is going to help us out, but also of course some homes. And for this we need to paint our very first residential zones. And for this we need to have a look again where we want to have them on this map. Lots of space here. Of course, we also need to reserve some space for a church and for the manor house and stuff like that. So I think a safe place would be here, where we can build that. Now we have two options for this, the round bush and the square bush. The square bush is my favorite this time around. Last time I was using the round bush primarily. The square bush offers quite a few more shapes of buildings. And let's go ahead and build us the very first blocks of housing, yeah, somewhere over here, I would say. Let's keep a bit of space, in fact, available. And then I can start painting this zone. Probably gonna go all the way down here. And then here, just along the border that we have, up again. There you go. Looks fine to me. And this is where people will now themselves build houses, right? So there's the very first one coming up already. Takes 11 logs per building, so this is gonna take some time. And this marks the beginning of our very first district as well, city district. And it's such a beautiful game. I really, really enjoy the atmosphere. A little bit later, the very first house has been finished, right over here, together with a little courtyard, an outhouse, very important. She's already cleaning the entry, and two people are living in it now, right, in the residential house. Quality level 1, density level 1. That is one of my targets this time around. Last time I was focusing on these demands way too late, so we should really upgrade those houses faster this time around. The next house has been finished just behind it. The first permanent residences of Montclair. At this point, a full month already passed, and we're not that far yet, right? A small industry zone. My sawmill still takes some time, especially the stone. So I've assigned a third person to that now since we have it. Yeah, we need more stone. Also, my happiness starts to climb. We got some 20% now. Just in time, really. Also, the well has been finished, so this should also now kick in, right? And then also housing. At this point, I should also start providing some food to my people. Now, for this, we need a market, a village market. I'm just gonna go ahead and have a basic food stall right here, right? We already have a little plaza there. We have the builder hut, and why not have a little food stall right here for my people, where we can sell the berries to them right away. This is also a penalty that we have at the moment, rustic food. Even though we have the berries, of course, they're not really provided to the people yet. So that's what we need to do as well. Our sawmill has been finished. I'm waiting for staffing it because right now we have a lot of construction with wood. And once that is done, we can start the processing of planks. It's a bit rainy now. 2 people would like to join, as Montclair is growing to 14 on the population. Now we have also the workforce to provide the sawmill with, but I still need to wait. This game is, by the way, beautiful in all the different shades that you can activate. Also here, dawn. There is also finally our village market. Let's assign a person to this, and also berries as my very first resource. And he's gonna grab the berries now and put them on display, where people finally can purchase them. With that, the rustic food penalty goes away. More immigration. As we can see, those people joining, they're spawning some over there at the edge of the border, and they're already forming a tiny road there. So we might also then take care of this road here, that it becomes a permanent trade route, for example. Montclair is now a village. We have leveled up. We can now title ourselves Lord. Let's go ahead and do this right away in this cute little menu that we have. And we're calling ourselves now Lord Nivarias. Oh, very nice. Of course, that's not the only addition. The major addition is that we have access now to our paths. So we can now choose different paths and they're going to give us bonuses. My very first path that I would like to do here is the labor path, and that's the manor house. This will cost me 25 coin. We're going to unlock this right away because this also unlocks taxation for us. One of the most important ways of getting money in from my people. Another very important building will be the storage. So we can unlock this right away because this unlocks trading together with the fishing. Also, at this point, we have finished our very first district. Happiness goes up to almost 50%. And I can now assign my first, let's say 2 people to the sawmill. And then are processing logs into planks. Problem with that is we don't have the best wood production at the moment. On this difficulty, you're having severe penalties to your production times. So that means we need to take extra care of input and output. So I think those 2 will already be enough for this area. And we'll just see. I might need to build a second lumber mill soon. And there we start with the first processing of planks. So in order to get more going over there, we need another industry building, and that's the forester camp. Plants trees in the reforestation zone. Let's get this going behind my lumber camp, somewhere over here. And this building here will make sure that we reforest those woods that we have. Otherwise, we are running out of trees pretty quickly. And no trees also means no bushes. So we need to take extra care of this. At this point, we're losing some money. Because of construction, we paid 60 coin last month, dropping us to 315. It's going to be absolutely necessary to keep a very tight look on my coins. There is my forester camp. Let's assign a person to this and also start with repainting or reforestation. And that would be then right here as well. Plenty of space. Also all the way up here. Now with this out of the way, I think we can afford a second lumber camp. We should be doing it really. As we can see, this area already generates a lot of noise and pollution, right? So that means people don't want to live close to this. So as the industry zone is growing, we need to take extra care where we place our houses, because if these houses are in the vicinity of industrial buildings, they will take a penalty and people would like to move away. So we can't allow that. So everything that generates noise stays here in this area. Let's have another camp just, I think, here by the sawmill. Or we could also make it a bit further in the back here. Let's just check it out. Let's have it beside my forester camp over here, right? So we're building this smaller lumber camp here. And this should then double my wood production. However, of course, it could also mean that we are running out of trees. So I will just have to have a look at that. The thing is, looking at my territories, I don't have that many forests, right? We have this. There is no forest in here. And we have this area where we have the majority of my forests. So I can only use this one right now. I cannot afford another one. Right, those 10 coin upkeep would kill me. So we need to stick to this one here. 3 people I have, 3 additional woodcutters we have. New trees are already growing. Okay, for my next district, we're starting down here. It's a bit further away now, but it's necessary. I cannot build here anymore. We don't have this territory. And this one is reserved, right? So here is my next one. I'm keeping a bit of a distance to my other district because we want to have a road in between forming. So let's go ahead and plant this one a bit forward here, right? And we might actually probably push a bit further up here as well. I can already start with my manor house now. Well, to be more precise, I'm not building the manor house right away. I'm actually building my tax office right away because we need to tax our people. So far, they've only received from us. They also need to give. And in this case here, the tax office needs one major building, and that is a room. It can be any room really, in fact, right? It could also be just this one here, and with that we would already have a nice smaller tax office going. Can we make this one even smaller? I think we could even make it smaller like this, because I really just need one tax person for it, right? I could build a tower. This would give me security for an area, but there's a much more efficient building for that later, so I'm not doing it just yet. Let's just go ahead and get me the tax office in. And yeah, we're gonna have it somewhere here, probably by the well, I could say, or by the builder house, somewhere here. This will make sure that we get a good amount of money in. It needs to be close to my city center for sure, because we definitely want to have the buildings close by, the taxpayers. Also, by the way, immigration, pushing us to 19. Okay, I'm sorry, I've been a bit mistaken here. This one actually requires, it doesn't provide, it requires light fortification. It means that I need to place it with a tower, right? And the tower provides the fortification bonus. So let's just use that tower as well. And there's a road here, there's some gardens. So let's have this taxpayer building right here. We affect all of these buildings with that. And have then an entrance here that goes towards that road. And with that we have it. And now I can actually, and with that in fact we can build it somewhere in here. And as we start to build the tax office, what I like about this game is, so we're just cutting into this courtyard here, right, into their gardens. But that doesn't matter because the game adjusts itself. So these fences will then readjust once this is finished. And this one has an entry then right to that street that we have over there. There's also this tiny fence that should go away. Now there it is, coming along faster than I thought. One more tool we need. And I can then sign in a tax collector for us. And there it is in all its glory. Let's assign a tax collector. And this person will now start collecting taxes for us. And there it is gone. In that case, he should now start collecting taxes. No, he's still cleaning, but at least he's got the outfit already for it. Tax collector level 1. The longer he works on the job, the better he becomes at it. Now with that, what we still need to do is also set the taxes, of course. We have them over here. And right now we have 19 serfs, right? And we can now push that. This would lead me now to 10 coin per month income. So having this one on the lowest level would already pay the taxes for at least one additional territory that we have. I'm not gonna go further because with that we would reduce the happiness too much, and that leads to lower immigration. And by the way, we have now 20 people living in Montclair. With the taxes finally rolling, let's have a quick look at my happiness. It is, well, at 55%. The problem here is that a new need has come up now. Since we have finished the rustic food demand, now they want refined food. That means that is food that is being processed, like meat, for example. That I can't do yet. If I look at my progression, right? So this is the next level here. That would be refined food. In this case here, for that we need a bit more prosperity level. So that is more people, more jobs, and more income. In that case, what we can do, however, is since we have, well, solved at least one problem, happiness is okayish, right? So I could raise the taxes now for my people. I would like to do this, right? We are gonna go from -5 to -15% on the happiness. This brings me twice as much money in. And we should hopefully feel that somehow soon now. Since we're not feeling the taxes so far. And a few more taxes can't hurt. Another thing, yeah. How's it looking with the housing? We're full again, so I should continue with more housing. Question is really where, right? There's not that much space here to get things here. So let's have the next one. There's, by the way, iron, right? So there's gonna be a smaller industry zone over there. So we also need to keep this in mind. On top of that, I want to have a market somewhere here together with a church. That is another thing we need. So let's actually have some housing over here. Right, but that's about it. As you can see, immediately people start to build houses, right? So I'm probably gonna push it like that, and that's it for now. I really don't want to have more housing over there at the moment. Now, in that case, it's all fine. We're staying above 50% for now. And the planks are coming in a bigger quantity now. So that is my next major important thing for this. Let's assign a second person now, since we have enough logs. And yeah, that forester is doing a good job at planting trees, right? So this is all new. As we can see, that was rather quick, so I think one forester will actually be enough for those 2 logging camps. With enough resources, what I would like to do is once again boost my happiness, and that is with services. So what these people want is a bit of faith, a bit of believing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna build a small rustic church for this. However, it's gonna be a very tiny one, as it's super expensive, and also it's not gonna be a final one or anything like that, right? Because I don't have a real proper center yet. This is gonna be probably my center for now, so I'm gonna build my church somewhere over here, so with a bit of a distance, but still looking towards that central market that we have there. Let's also have a smaller bell tower. This is actually a requirement to have it. We have 2 of them available. We have the major one and the minor one, right? The major one costs a bit more, and the minor one costs less. So let's go ahead with the minor one. I'm gonna have this one right here in the front where we could also increase its height, right? And with that, nothing really changes except the upkeep a bit. If I change the major hall, we could probably push the, yep, there it is, the capacity of the people. 24 it is right now. I think that is though fine. Let's also have a smaller entrance right here in the front of it, and perhaps also something for decoration, like a wooden cross on top of it. Let's also have it look towards the... It's actually not possible for me to change it. So we can't do that. Okay, placing it and then rotating it, that works out. Though this looks a bit strange, doesn't it? It probably actually has to look like this. Yeah, I think this looks a bit better overall. And with that, yeah, we have a small church now that we built. And 19 planks, we have that, the tools we have, and also the wood we have to get this smaller construction going. Yeah, the taxes we are taking in right now, the 5 coin per month that we've taken so far, actually would cover now my territory upkeep and also my small constructions that we have. So far, we're breaking even a bit here on my balance, on my coin. And there is the church already coming along. Magic involved. But definitely the biggest construction so far for our Montclair. And there it is. Let's also assign a village priest. Ines, she's gonna do it. And yeah, with that we have a capacity of 24 now that can join. And as we can see, weekly attendance already goes up as people immediately go to the sermon. I also love to ring the bell from time to time. And with that, we should also get an increased happiness again as the service demand goes down. Since we're gonna need a lot of planks, I would like to build a second sawmill now. And with the reduced production times that we have, or production cycles that we have, so we actually take more time to produce something. Also, my berries are already struggling despite having a gathering hut level 3, also with 3 people employed. This could be problematic. I think we're gonna need a second one there too. But let's start with another sawmill right away. So I'm gonna have this in the industry zone. And yeah, we're gonna make it so that this one also looks the part. Right here, together with that wood storage in the center. Happiness is really high with 63. I'm gonna keep it there for now to increase my immigration rate. We could also use it for more taxation. But right now, I would like to use more immigration. Second sawmill in action. My remaining workforce is going for it now. And with that, we have more planks available. Planks that I can now use for my next construction right away. That's actually 2 things. The first one is a warehouse and the other one is the manor house. I would like to start with the manor house because this gives me a bunch of new actions that I definitely want to have. And for this, we need a great hall. I really cannot afford that much yet. But we're going to start with a smaller manor house, and it's probably going to be over here, and we can then always just expand upon it, right? So let's just make it as close to the border as possible, so that we have then plenty of room in the surrounding area. I like that there's an elevation going up, so you can have the manor house then also going up the elevation there. I think this would look pretty cool at some point. Let's also have a smaller entrance there in the front of it, and yeah, that's probably it already. A smaller visitor location area somewhere in front of it where people can then also put in their demands. And this is all you need. 34 planks, 5 tools. It's rather expensive for what we have right now, but I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, it looks pretty sad, right? We could have a smaller miner tower. I think that we can afford here in the back of it, perhaps. It's outside of my territory. There you go. So that we have at least something that looks romantic. A little tower there in the back of it. Why not? As much as I like the tower, I'm not gonna do it. It's too expensive for what we get out of it. That's nothing, and I still need the manor house though. Let's start the building here, and we can then always expand with more towers. And yeah, we have a high rate of immigration right now. Perfect. 2 more people that join, and as we can see, I'm very static with the berries, so those 2 people probably will tip me over. So we gotta be careful here now. I'm gonna already preactively build me another gathering hut that we can do. Let's just check it out. There's lots of berry bushes over there. These are the only ones that I have available in my territory right now. So just beside this one, I'm gonna add a second one, keeping them together there. And another thing I would like to do now, since we don't really have a lot of planks yet, but we're gonna have a lot of planks, I would like to start building my warehouse. This will enable trading for us. Let's just build it where we have also, yeah, somewhere here, just across the sawmills. Gonna be careful here because I don't want to have the berry bushes disappearing. So I rather would have the warehouse over there, but we would need to delete then the berry bushes that I can't afford. So let's have this one here. And this is going to be the central storehouse then for my smaller industry zone that we have right now. And yeah, at this point I can definitely say that we're running out of food, so it's a great thing that we finished another gathering hut, and let's assign 2 people to that again right away. Oh, wait a second. I still have 1 available? Let's assign. No. I don't have that. Who is this? Who is unemployed right now? Okay, it seems like Mencia is finishing up right now, so she's counting as unemployed, but she's not really, so that should be fine. The manor house is coming along. 4 more planks are missing. Okay, another monthly balance, and as we can see, 32 in taxes, upkeep was 6, so this is fine for now. And a high happiness of 65%. And there it is, a very, very basic manor house in the most basic form. And here we can now select our mandates, like for example this getting a levy out of my people. And this would bring me in 81 immediately. It would also cause unhappiness of negative 30%, which is fine for me because we have a high happiness. So I would like to go ahead and get this one in. This brings a lot of money. There it is. We have leveled those coins. That will lead to some unhappiness, but it's gonna be fine. And with that, we can purchase a new territory now. For now, my warehouse has been finished. This is gonna increase my upkeep once again. And also, we can now assign here resources to it. That would be the planks, for example. That is my first storage that we are building up here. And I think tools as well, because we're gonna import tools soon. And the worker is now taking care that we're storing everything here as ordered. And with 20 planks in, we can finally now open our very first trade route to Northbury. We also have a bunch of other trade routes available, but Northbury is the safest one. They would then also purchase polished stone from us, planks and meat. These are things that we can produce in high quantity for selling it a bit for a profit. And Northbury also sells us tools. That is the most important thing here that we get out of that. So unlock the trade route to Northbury. And this also unlocks us the common tier 2. That we're gonna need, so we have now 13 points on the prosperity. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to now order my selling. So planks, for example, we can now say sell everything above a certain threshold, and this threshold will be 40 planks, right? I always want to keep some planks available. The rest we can sell. We can also do the same thing then for polished stone. Now, let's quickly check out what kind of progression we can go for here. And the most important one for me early on would be, well, hunting, of course, because that gives me boars and meat. And meat is something that my people want, and meat is something that we can also easily sell. This gives me now the hunting hut over here. And for that, we need to check out, though, where we have the boars. And this is something I was anticipating. it's not looking great, right? We don't have any boars here because we're chopping down the trees. So we need new territory. This one here would come in handy, as we can see. There's lots of hunting grounds. The same also applies for this area. I would like to combine this where we have stone. So let's check it out where we have some stone available. There's stone because, you know, this one here is down to 300. So it's not going to run forever. We are very unlucky with the stone. We have one over there. And we have one over here. Is this a good hunting area? We need to check this out, really. Nah, this is bad. Okay, we cannot combine this one. It's also not the same territory, right? Now, I don't have a lot of options. It's probably gonna be this one here. And the next stone deposit is then... Oh, that's too far away too. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna go with this territory here. It's the biggest one by far that we can purchase. 100 coin. That's the same price for every territory, right? It will cost me 10 coin per month in addition upkeep wise. So that's quite a lot. It also gives me an iron deposit, lots of forests and hunting grounds. Also some berry bushes down the road as well. The thing is, there's no other stone that would be attached to this. The goal would be to go for this territory next, because this has the stone again, right? And it would also have then some space for my first sheep farms, so we could work with that. Let's purchase that territory now. There you go, it's ours. And we can now start with the hunting. That would be the hunter hut for the hunting grounds down here. This is also causing some pollution again. We can have this one probably here at the edge of town right now. I could also have it here beside my logging camps. I think this would be a safer bet for it. So let's go ahead and have it here to start with the hunting. For this, we also need to sign then the hunting area, and it's this one, of course. Gonna make it a bit bigger than it should be, just so I'm making sure that I'm not accidentally, chopping away any trees. Speaking about chopping, the forester is doing an amazing job at replanting trees for both of my logger camps. So I could actually also say something to my logging, and that is making it a bit smaller, perhaps, but also moving it a bit further over here, right? So gonna make sure that we chop and everything above that is then gone, because, you know, as you can see, this is also chopping area now, since that is the territory we purchased. So I can keep them separated here just nicely. Very good. I do have too many logs anyway, so I could reduce my workforce on the lumber camp right now, and that would give me more hunters then that I'm going to need. Okay, pathwise, the progression, we have the hunter. That did cost me 50, right? There's also my tools production, but that is way too expensive right now. The other one that I would like to go for is the stonemason hut. This unlocks me the polished stone. Very important. So let's go ahead and get this one for 50 coin as well. And we're down to 150 coin now only. Okay, so in the middle of the forest down there, we have now the hunter hut coming along. In preparation to this one, we also need another building right away, and that is now the butchery. Once again, the upkeep is rather low for this one, so that's great. It is, however, causing pollution, as we can see. So, once again, I need to have it in an area that is not going to be inhabited so quickly. And yeah, we're slowly moving now my industry then a bit further over into this area, just behind my storehouse. And let's have my very first butcher then somewhere here. Actually, realistic would be to have it closer to the city. The thing is, though, because of that pollution, I'm not gonna do it. Another person moves in. Great stuff. We can also think about my next building, the granary now, that I should build. And this stores then all the food that we're producing. And yes, for this, I'm actually going to go... we could have it here, honestly. Let's have the granary just here beside the storehouse as my next construction too. Lots of stuff that we are building now. And what I can see is housing, we are also out of it. So I will also need to provide some additional housing zone. I can think about this area here still. Alright, so there is still a bit of space that I can use. Just behind our church. You know what, let's actually also build in here. I don't see a reason why we should keep this available. And let's just make sure that we're not building into that road there. I want to keep that road. And there's also my hunter hut. Let's assign 2 hunters to it. And we're now getting meat in. Very good. Another preparation for this is my next market building. So once again, we're gonna build a market and a smaller food stall it is. And yeah, you know what? Let's have it over here on the other side of the berries. We can then sell the meat. After some time, the butchery has been finished. I do have exactly 1 person available that can still do the job. Pretty sure also, yeah, we have the first meat in. Very great. Can we see them doing their job? Yeah, he's hunting right now. Hiding behind a tree. I don't see the boar though. Could be some over there, deep in the forests of Montclair. Just perfect, really. The next food stall has been finished just as 2 more people join. So one of them immediately can be assigned now to meat as a market tender. And this person will now get the meat from the butchery and sell it on the market. And this should then also get rid of the refined food negative 20% penalty that we have already. Since the meat is rolling, let's also have another butcher assigned. The granary would need a workforce now too. Here we can then put in berries and meat for now. Meat is important because we want to sell this. But I'm gonna wait for another person to join the village. And with the first meat now being sold, my first villagers are also eligible as commoners, so we can upgrade our villages now to the next level. And as we also can see, the refined food penalty goes down. This is a perfect moment to also levy some additional taxes, right? I did the job and you people really should pay me for it. Another 96 we can get out of our people, squeezing that out. That's just extra taxes basically. And just on time, there is also a trader now finally from Northbury arriving in Montclair. And he's now gonna purchase planks. We have 38 planks available. You know what? Just to get the sales going, let's actually reduce the threshold here to 30. So he's gonna immediately purchase now some planks from us. There it is. 8 coin for 8 planks. Thank you very much for doing business with us. That's important because we want to get the volume up, because only with that can we upgrade that trade route then at some point. That's very important as we want to increase the volume, of course. Some money is coming in. We would have money again for some territories or for some additional industry. Gonna decide on that in the next episode of Foundation on Extreme Difficulty. Well, with a bit of preparation, it's not that hard yet, is it? But we haven't even started with the expensive stuff so far. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to leave a like behind. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Stay tuned.